Hi, my name is Rachel and you're watching the Rachelistic channel. Welcome back to my channel and to another video. So, since it's back to school season, I decided to do a video about the things that I wish I had known or done differently when I was in university. So, as you can see, I'm wearing my university sweater, Western University, yeah, whatever. But yeah, so I went to Western University in Canada and graduated in 2021. And yeah, it's been a few years and I was thinking about kind of like if I were to go back and do it all over again, what would I do differently? And so yeah, that's kind of how I came up with the idea for this video. It's an idea I've had for a while, but like it wasn't like back to school season, so I just decided to wait until now to do this video for you guys. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I feel like I have some good tips for people who are going to college or university. So yeah, I hope that you find it useful, and let's just get right into it. So I grouped my tips or whatever into 5 different categories. So there's like general university college tips, there's like classes tips, organization tips, and then there's living on campus and living off campus tips. So we're going to start off with the general university college tips. Okay, so the first thing, it's not necessarily something that I wish I had done. I don't know, there's not really anything I could really do about it. But my first tip, I guess I would say, is learning the process for getting accommodations. So if you're like have a diagnosis, this is like the most important tip, is finding out the process for getting accommodations at your school, because accommodations will help you a lot in school, and trying to survive without accommodations is not very fun. So I definitely suggest that you try to do that. The school that I went to, you have to have a diagnosis to get accommodations. I don't know if all schools are like that or all places are like that, but it's definitely helpful to just look into it. Maybe they don't require you to have a diagnosis and you can get some accommodations. I don't know of any place like that, but I don't know, it might be possible. Definitely learning the process for getting accommodations will be very helpful, and so that you know how to get the help that you need. My second tip, this is something that I kind of did, but I wish I had done it more when I was in university, and it is joining clubs or being involved in clubs that are about your interests or your culture, or like, yeah, just things that you're interested in. When I was in university, so I only joined 2 clubs and one of them was like a religious club, so it was like about the religion that I'm in, and the other one that I joined was an autism awareness club. I don't know, I was pretty involved my first year, but then after that I just really wasn't. I kind of wish I had been more involved, because I don't know, I could have connected more with people, or even just found other clubs that were about like my interests, or even like clubs, like they had a Black student union. Was it that what it was called? I don't know. But they had like a club like that at my school, and I wish I had joined that. I could have met other Black students and could have vibed, but I didn't do any of that. So that's definitely something that I would encourage you to do. It'll definitely help you to find more people who are like kind of like you, or like have similar interests in you. It's a great way for like finding your group of people, I would say. From my experience, I feel like it's more difficult to like make friends in like university than it is like in like high school, because I don't know, it's just like so many more people and everyone's kind of doing their own thing. Like when you're in class, like I don't know, I didn't talk to people in my class, so joining clubs is definitely like a great way to find people that you could vibe with. My next tip is something that I wish I had done. Like, I wish I had done this a lot more. Or not even more. I just wish I had done this because I really didn't do this. But it is going to things that are giving free food, especially food that you like. So at university, at college, there's always events or things that are going on where people are giving free food for the students, okay? The amount of times in my student emails or whatever where I saw these little events that were happening where giving free food, or there's free pizza or donuts or something. There's always free food somewhere, and like I never went to any of them even though I wanted to. I'm like, ooh, it'd be cool to have a free donut, but like I never went because I was like, I don't really want to go. There's people, like I don't want to leave my house or whatever. But like honestly, if I could go back in time, I would have gone for the free food, okay? When you're in university or college, like it's stressful, you got classes going on, and sometimes maybe you forget to eat or you just don't have the time to make food or do things like that. And so when there is free food, you should take full advantage of it, okay? I am telling you to do that. I only did that once in my life. In my university experience, I got free food. I got free pizza. And I'm pretty sure that was during like orientation week. That was the only time that I got free food of the 4 years that I was at university. Like I should have done it more. I wish I had done it more. So that's why I'm giving it as a tip for you guys to take advantage of the free food. Okay. So my next tip, I kind of was talking about orientation, so this is about that. And this is another thing that I wish I had done, but it is, if orientation is too overwhelming, don't force yourself through it. So basically, like, you don't have to go to all of the events that are happening during orientation. Basically, the point of orientation is really just to like get you kind of used to the campus, maybe try and make some new friends, but like really you just need to know the basics basically. So if you're living on campus, then you want to, know where everything is in your residence and how things work. For your, for getting to classes and stuff, you want to know, how to navigate your campus, where all the important places are. Basically, you want to know like the important information, like the basics of, your school that you're going to. But other than that, like if there's like, parties or concerts or what are some stuff that happened when I was in orientation? I don't know, like activities. I don't know. If you don't want to do all that stuff, if it's really overwhelming for you, don't force yourself to go to all of the events in your orientation. Like it's not 100% necessary. Like obviously you want to get the basics, you want to know the basics, but the other stuff you don't have to do it if you don't want to. That's something that I wish that I had done or taken into consideration when I was going through my orientation week, because it was super overwhelming. Like I had just moved into my residence building, and then it was like all this stuff was happening, and it was super overwhelming, and it was not that great. I mean, for me personally, just don't force yourself. Do what you can, do what is comfortable for you, but don't force yourself to do anything if you don't want to, basically. And so my last general university college tip, another thing that I wish I had done more. So take advantage of the mental health services on campus and any student health plans that you might have. I don't really know how it works in the States, but in Canada, I mean, I feel like students have health plans in the States too, like with your college, right? Please, in the comments, tell me if I'm right here, but I'm pretty sure you guys have that too. But in my school that I went to in Canada, well, in all of Canada, like, anyways, whatever, the students get health plans with their schools. For my school, we had there was honestly like a lot in the student health plan that I just did not take advantage of. Like I could have gone to the eye doctor, could have gotten myself glasses, could have gone to the dentist, gone to the doctor whenever something's happening, like. And I just didn't take advantage of that ever. I only went to the doctor once. And then as for mental health services on campus, I did not take advantage of that nearly as much as I should have. So I definitely encourage you guys to do that. University, college, it's hard enough as it is, it's stressful enough as it is, and if you're really struggling or you're really sick or whatever, like, you don't need that on top of the already stress that you have. Like, take advantage of the resources and the help that they are offering to you through your school and for free, because it will help and it's useful. It's there for a reason. It's there to be used, so you should take advantage of it. So yeah. So my next category of tips is in class tips. So yeah. So okay, the first tip is something that I wish I had done more, and I only discovered it in my last year of university, which I wish I had done this right from the beginning. But anyways, it is to record your lectures so you don't miss anything. This is especially helpful for those of us that have slower auditory processing times. I discovered in my last year of university that if I record lectures, it helps me a lot while taking notes, because usually, like, if the professor is talking and I'm trying to take notes, I catch like the first half of the sentence and then I miss the rest of the sentence. And if I'm not recording, then I don't know what they said. So recording can help, because then you can just play it back and later on, and then you get the whole thing and you get all the information and you can do better in your classes. So yeah, I definitely recommend doing that. But also, you want to be mindful of your professor's like rules or whatever for the class. So if they explicitly say you are not allowed to record in this class, just reach out and ask if there's any way that you could either get a recording or something else to help you with getting all the information out of the lecture. And then another thing, if you can get accommodations through your school, then definitely get accommodations for taking notes. I remember at my school there was you could be like a volunteer like note taker for people who need help taking notes in class. I wish I had that, to be honest, but I can get accommodations because I don't have a diagnosis. So yeah, recording lectures, that's the way to go. If you're allowed to, of course. So my next tip is, I don't know if something I would have necessarily done, but it could be a useful tip for you. And anyways, it is to bring STEM or fidget toys to class, if that'll help you pay attention better or concentrate better. Basically, don't be afraid to do the things that help you pay attention better. One thing that I was always doing during lectures is doodling. So my notes were always had doodles all around the page. So especially when I was writing the notes, just don't be afraid to do whatever helps you pay attention in class. So whether that's bringing STEM toys or fidget toys, go ahead. Of course, you want to be mindful of the people around you. So don't bring a clicky toy that's going to make a bunch of noise. I don't know, maybe bring a little stress ball or something that's quieter, that's not too distracting or loud, because you want to be mindful of the people around you. Do what you need to do to help you pay attention in class, because lectures can be really boring sometimes, I'm not going to lie. So yeah, do what you need to do. My next tip is definitely something that I wish I had done more. I really wish I had done this a lot more. Actually, I didn't even do this at all, so I wish I had done it, period. And that is talking to your professors or your TAs. One thing that I did when I was in university is I was trying to figure out everything for myself. If I was confused about something, or say on a quiz or a test or whatever, I didn't get a certain answer wrong, I wouldn't go to the professor or to a TA and be like, hey, I need help with this thing, or I'm confused about this. I would just try to figure it out myself, because I didn't want to talk to them, because I didn't want to talk to people. That is bad advice. That is a bad idea. Do not do that. If you're confused about something, if you need help, go talk to your professors, talk to your TAs, take advantage of their office hours. They have them for a reason. It can be intimidating to talk to your professors, but honestly, they have those office hours there specifically to talk with their students who have questions and stuff. So yeah, take advantage of that. And also remember, they are humans as well. So I don't know, there's nothing to be intimidated about. Easier said than done, but just remember they're humans too. So like, I don't know, there's nothing, you shouldn't really be that scared. I'm talking to myself. So my last tip about classes is something that I kind of figured out towards the end of my university experience, and that is to only take as many classes as you can handle. And it's okay to take the minimum amount of classes. I don't know why in like school there's always like there's a lot of pressure to graduate within a certain time frame. Like, oh, you if you're doing a bachelor's, you have to do it in 4 years. But it's like, I mean, you don't have to. You can be a part-time student and that's 100% okay. You don't have to take the full load of classes every single semester if it's way too much for you to handle. If you can't handle that amount of work or stress or whatever, it's fine. Take 2 classes a semester. Take 1 or whatever. Take as much as you can handle. Don't do more because you feel pressured to. Just do what you can and you'll be better off for it. So now the next section of tips is about organization. So I only have 2 tips for here. The first thing is something that I wish I had done when I was in university, and that is to only like have a 1 month or like a 2 month wall calendar or something. Honestly, yeah, I would say like just have a 1 month like calendar thing. Like don't get a 4 month calendar thing that's gonna like that's gonna show you your entire semester like every single time that you look at it, because honestly that made me stressed out. Like I had a wall calendar thing that was like 4 months at a time that you like write in the months and everything, and I would have my entire semester on my wall every single time I looked at my wall calendar. And that was stressful because it'd be like January and I'm like, oh, look at that. In March, I have an essay due. That's fun. Yeah, no. It made me stressed out. Like, especially writing out everything, I would be so stressed out. No, just focus 1 month at a time. Get a 1 month wall calendar where you can write in the month and just focus on your month. And then you can move on to the next month, but like you don't gotta see everything all at once. It's too stressful. Don't do that. And my second tip, this is something I feel like I kind of did this when I was in university, but it is to schedule everything or just write everything down. Like have like a schedule or like your planner or whatever with your classes, your study time, homework time, break time, whatever, clubs time, whatever. It helps you organize your time so you can see like, okay, I have a class at this time, I don't know, work at this time, and then there's supposed to be a club meeting at this time. Do I have time to go to said club meeting? Or should I stay home and study or do this assignment that I have due tomorrow? Like, like you can see everything that's going on better so that you can like organize your life and you're not like falling behind because you forgot about something or you didn't schedule, any study time. And also an important thing in that is to schedule your breaks too when you're studying or doing assignments or whatever, because that is super important. And then also going along with that is like, don't overschedule yourself either. So like, like especially for study time, like don't schedule more than you can actually do. So like one thing that I did is I never studied or did any homework or anything after 5 p.m. because I knew that I was not going to have the energy. I was not going to be able to focus. Like it was just not going to happen after 5. So I just never did any work after 5, except for 1 or 2 occasions. But for the most part, I didn't do anything after 5. So if you're like more focused in the morning, then make sure you kind of have all your work time in the morning. Or if you're more of a night owl and you like concentrate really good at night, then schedule your study time for that. Just, do what will work for you. Don't. Basically, the whole theme of this video is do what works for you. Alright, so now we are getting on to the living tips, if you can call that. So we're going to talk about living on campus. And so this first tip is something that I wish that I had done, and that is to apply to live on a quiet lifestyle floor, or just any floor that you would feel comfortable living on when living in a residence or a dorm. So some examples of some like different like floors that you might see like at a university or college like dorm or residence or whatever. So there's a quiet lifestyle floor, which is the one I wish I had done. There's also sometimes like gender diverse floors, a women only floor, or like faculty like specific floor. So like if you're in the arts and humanities faculty, then it would be like other students who are in that faculty, or like social science or sciences, or I don't know what other faculties there are. I can't think of anything, but you get the idea. If you're living on campus, try to apply for a floor that you would feel comfortable living on, because if you don't, then you might end up living with people who are like louder, or if you would prefer a quiet space, or like with people that you don't really want to live around. So yes, I wish I had done that, because I mean, my floor wasn't the loudest, but they did have a party once, and that really was not fun for me who was trying to sleep. So yeah. Another tip I would say is try getting a single room if that's something that you would be more comfortable with. Of course, getting a single room is like super difficult for living on campus. Everybody wants a single room, but it doesn't hurt to try. And then if you can, try finding a roommate. Like if you have to have a roommate, try finding a roommate that you'd be comfortable with. If it's possible, maybe if you know somebody that's going to the same university or college, maybe try rooming with them if you're comfortable with them. Also, and then if you do end up having to roommate with like a stranger, someone that you've never met before, then I don't know, I don't have any real advice for that. But if it happens that you don't really get along, then you can always request to have like a room change or something like that if it's like really terrible. Like you don't have to stick it out if it's really terrible, is my point. So my next tip, another thing I wish I had done, is to make sure you have snacks, safe food, snacks in your room, especially if you have like a lot of sensory issues when it comes to like food and stuff. Make sure you have like little snacks in your room that you know that you will eat and that you like to eat, because like the food in the cafeteria is not always the greatest. I wish I had more snacks in my room when I was living on campus. So yeah, make sure you have snacks, because sometimes if the food in the cafeteria is not that great, at least you have something in your room that you can eat, you know? And then my last tip for on campus is to get noise canceling headphones or earplugs, because the thing about living on campus is that there's always going to be a party somewhere. Maybe it's not on your floor, but maybe it's the floor above you or the floor below you and you can still hear it. Or maybe the people next door to you are just playing music really loud and they keep playing that one song, the Jesse's Girl song. Man, that was so annoying. But yeah, just, get some noise canceling headphones or some earplugs. So whenever that happens, you can just put them on, block it out, and it won't annoy you as much. Yeah. And so my last category of tips is for living off campus. So my first tip, thing that I wish I had done more, and that is to get a meal kit or meal plan your meals, or just get like some easy to make, ready to eat meals. Basically, just have like stuff like prepared for you to like make meals or to eat meals easier, if that makes sense. Because again, as I said many times in this video, being a student is hard. You don't always have the time to like cook a whole meal, or sometimes, especially being like neurodivergent, it can be really difficult to like make a decision on what to eat, especially if you just have, I don't even know what I just said, but especially if you have like a bunch of ingredients but you don't really have like any idea of what to make, it can be really hard to like figure out what to make. So yeah, having like a meal kit that just takes a lot of decision making away. So like, like HelloFresh or something like that. But if you can't afford that, because they can be pretty expensive to be honest, then like meal planning your food in advance. So like, cooking everything like on like the weekend for the week, that can help. Or just having a lot of like easy to make or ready to eat foods. So things like chicken nuggets or fries or pasta or like microwave meals, like just something to eat. Because, even though people like, I don't know, sometimes people like focus too much on like, oh, you should eat like healthy, don't eat carbs, don't have this, blah, blah, blah. But like, honestly, when you're a student and you're a neurodivergent student and you have executive dysfunction, like if you can eat anything, like if you can manage to make yourself a meal and eat something, do it. Like don't worry too much about like the healthiness, because honestly, like when you have the time to do that, you can do that. But like being a student and having all these things to do, like if you can just manage to make yourself some chicken nuggets and fries and you ate a meal and you're not going to bed hungry, good job. Like to double thumbs up to you. Like a million gold stars. Like yeah. So my next tip, basically it kind of goes off of the last one. It's pretty similar. Another thing I wish I had done more of. Make sure that you have safe foods available for consumption at all times. Because again, like I said, cooking is a lot of energy. It's very hard when you have executive dysfunction or PDA autism or just autism, ADHD, any type of neurodivergency or any neurotype. It's hard. Like cooking is so much effort, especially when you're a student too. Like it's just you're studying and now you have to stop and cook. Like it's just too much work. Sometimes you don't have the energy to do that and you just want something to eat. That's when having like your safe foods that are just ready to eat, like crackers or chips or like granola bars or I don't know, pudding, not my safe food. Might be yours, but it's not mine. Applesauce, I don't know. Just something that's like, easy to eat, ready to eat, right there, available at all times. So that when you do have those days when the executive functioning is not functioning, you have food to eat. Basically, I got this idea from a TikTok that I saw. This person said to like have like a tray of like safe foods in your fridge that's like full at all times, so that when you have those days when you just don't have the energy to cook or do anything to even prepare yourself food, you just take that tray out of your fridge and you just eat until you're full, and then you're done and it's good. And then when you have more energy, you can restock it or whatever. But yeah, I'll try to somehow link that TikTok in here or something. I don't know. But if I can find it again. But yeah. And anyways, so then my last tip for living off campus, again, I said this before in the living on campus, but that is to live with people that you're comfortable with and that know you really well, know about your neurodivergent, especially if you're living off campus, like in a house and you have like, housemates type of situation. Like you definitely want to live with people who know you well, or at least one person that knows you well and understands you, so that like they don't get annoyed or like mad at you when you can't clean all the time or something, or I don't know, if they don't understand why you're doing certain things. It can be a lot more helpful to live with people who understand you, because it can avoid getting into like unnecessary conflict, I suppose. And so those are all of my tips, all the things that I wish I had done when I was in neurodiversity. When I was in university. I hope that these tips are helpful for you guys who might be going to university or college. I hope that you learned something from this or took something away and be like, oh yes, I could definitely do that when I'm in university. I hope it wasn't just nonsense. I hope that you got something from it. If for those of you that are going to school, whether that's university, college, high school, I don't know if there's any high schoolers watching my videos, but if you are, I wish you the best for your school year, and I hope that it all goes well. That's it for today's video. If you liked it, then please hit the like button so it can spread to more people. If you have anything that you like to say, any comments, if you have any of your own tips for college and university, then go ahead and comment those down below. And finally, if you enjoy watching my videos, then please subscribe so that please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when I post my next videos. And as always, stay Rachelistic, or whatever your name is istic, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, goodbye, and happy back to school. Is that something people say? I wouldn't know.